Hello, everybody. Welcome back yet again to the Guided Dreams YouTube channel. My name still remains Dr. CT Onyema from the Guided Dreams. It's a different kind of video I'm trying to make tonight because this is a very pathetic case where a family of four, a husband and two children, are facing deportation from Canada after 8 years. A whooping 8 years has a family invested in Canada, and right away they are facing deportation because of, I mean, because of a carelessness, I should say, carelessness of so-called agent. So this is a case where this young lady from Nigeria who was happily working, in a pharmaceutical company as a sales rep, medical sales rep in one of the pharmaceutical companies based in Lagos State, Nigeria. So she has a background, a bachelor's degree in business administration. But you know how it is, people like to explore other opportunities. So she, unfortunately fell into the hands of a so-called immigration consultant. But before I go into details of this pathetic case and the lessons in there for us to learn, let me play this clip for you so that you hear directly from the horse's mouth before we go into establishing the background behind the scene, behind this whole story, and things we'll take out and take home from this. Take a listen, and I'll see you after this short clip. Take care.
Lola Akinlade had a huge smile on her graduation day in 2019, but underneath, she was worried. Just before grad, Canadian immigration officials at the IRCC told her a document she had used to enter Canada 3 years earlier was fake. It was this acceptance letter to the University of Regina, given to Akinlade by an agent in Nigeria she hired to help her immigrate.
And he told me, oh, this is what he's been doing for ages.
Akinlade told CBC News she never contacted the university herself, and as she was traveling to Saskatchewan, the agent called her to say there was no space at that school. She'd have to go on a wait list. She got herself into a Nova Scotia school instead.
I said my primary aim was to come here to study. I don't want to be on a wait list.
Due to the fake letter, Akinlade lost her study permit. Her youngest child was born in Canada, but she, her husband, and their oldest child have been asked to leave Canada voluntarily.
We already invested our life here in Canada, so there is nothing to go back to fall on.
But the IRCC alleges she knew it was fake. Her lawyer says she's not sure why.
Most officers can be very skeptical when it comes to applicants that claim, they were victims of a rogue agent.
Last December, IRCC began a new screening process for international student acceptance letters. It says it's identified more than 9,000 fakes. IRCC declined an interview, but Canadian universities are concerned.
All right, welcome back from that short video that I believe is saddening because this is someone who has invested, like I said, 8 years of high experience. You heard from her leaving Nigeria in 2016. Okay, this is the whole picture. This is a young lady who was working, like I said before, in a pharma company in Lagos State, Nigeria. Background is in business administration, bachelor's, but she wanted to further her education to do a master's in business administration. So in one office outside Lagos, she met a man, by name Tunde. Um, Baba Tunde is the full name, who claimed to be an immigration consultant. Okay, so she told the lady that she told Babatunde that she desires to come to study in Canada for master's degree program. So Babatunde said, okay, I will help you. I will take you through the process. I will get you admission. I will get you even up to the point of flying you to Canada. Everything prepared, the plane ticket and everything. So this young lady jumped at this good news. And without asking any particular question, she simply told the man, I just want to study in a high quality Canadian institution. She did not give any specifics. So they parted ways The young man got to work. Long story short, an acceptance letter was, provided for her bearing the name of the school, University of Regina, in Saskatchewan. And she, using that, she was able to, get her study permit and obtain flight ticket and move to Canada in December 2016. She landed in Canada at Winnipeg and stayed with a relative because her section will resume in January of 2017. Now, when this lady left Lagos State, she left the husband with a baby of 8 months. This is all to, survive and make a better living for her family. She traveled and landed in Canada in December 28, 2016, stayed in Winnipeg, celebrated her Christmas with all hopes that in January 2017, she's going to move to Saskatchewan and resume her study a master's in business administration in the University of Regina. So when she was on her way to University of Regina, the agent called her because, of course, the agent knows that this school will resume in January. So the agent put across to this lady and told her, "Don't go to the school because they have no space for you." Hey, this is crazy, unbelievable. So the lady said this agent called her and said, "They are going to put you on the wait list." Now, my question is this: do schools give offer of admission and later turn around to put you on a wait list? That is the number one red flag. Normally, if they don't have any space in their department or the course you want to study, they will give you, put you on a wait list before giving you an acceptance letter. They don't accept you to study and now turn around to put you on a wait list. So from the video you watched, she revolted and told him, "I'm coming here to study to further my education. I'm not here to stay on a wait list," which is expected of someone who sacrificed everything, even her 8 months old baby. So this is a part of the story that hurt me so much, because this lady did everything within her powers to secure a future for the family. So she had no choice but to stay back in Winnipeg with the sister. And the bad thing about the whole thing is that the agent said, "I don't even know when they will give you a space to go and study." Of course, this is my own opinion. I know they know that was a fake acceptance letter. So the school will never give you any opportunity to study. But they went ahead and issued that acceptance letter. So she stayed back. She stayed back in she stayed back in Winnipeg with her sister, started hustling to find another institution, and she found her way around September 2017 in Nova Scotia Community College to study social services. This is a lady who wanted to do masters in business administration. Now she is forced to go to a community college to study social services, the handwork of an agent. Now, to complicate the matter the most, this lady kept little or no contact with this agent and moved on with her life. Fast forward to 2018, the husband joined her with, then two years old boy. Remember, she left the son that was 8 months then to move to Canada to study in 2016. So in 2018, 2 years, the husband joined her. And as I'm talking to you now, that boy is about 8 years. Okay, so 2 years later down the line, IRCC wrote her a letter saying that the acceptance letter which she entered Canada with was fake. That is where water passed Gary, as we talk in Nigeria. She then contacted University of Regina and they confirmed her fears that that was fake. It means that she has lost her study permit. She has also, of course, her application for PGWP was denied, and her temporary residency status in Canada was also denied. Now, along the line, she gave birth in 2021, she gave birth to her second son, who happened to normally, because when you give birth to a child in Canada, that child has automatic citizenship. So from 2021 to 2024, that boy is 3 years old. But with the parents losing their status in Canada, that boy, if he falls ill today, he has no medical insurance, no medical coverage whatsoever, because the parents, they don't have a legal standing, a legal status anymore in Canada. What a sad story. Now, one broadcasting station here in Canada reached out to the agent, and when they contacted the agent, he agreed that they gave that acceptance letter to this lady. They secured her the admission, but however, that he also contracted. You see why I said forget these agents. So this lady employed an agent, an immigration consultant, who went ahead to contract another company that he called One Success Academy Education Consult in Ejigbo, in Lagos. However, he doesn't know the whereabouts of that One Success Academy Education Consult. They have gone underground, so nobody knows where their whereabouts. So the question is, what next for this family? What can they do? Because they face deportation as I'm sharing this story with you now. This is because one agent somewhere ruined her life, ruined her career after 8 solid years here in Canada. So what can this lady do? I mean, currently they are filing for what you call a humanitarian application to stay, which will be done in coming weeks. But the issue with this application is that that doesn't really give you a right to stay in Canada. Even if you file the humanitarian application to stay, if it is not approved, you can be asked to leave Canada any moment from now. And even once you succeed in filing that application, it could take many months for your case to be concluded. This is a very sad story. And this is one out of a lot that we see every day. I have a case where a visa was approved for a couple to come visit. This is someone very close to me. For a couple to visit, it was approved and they requested a passport to be sent. They sent an email requesting for this agent to send the passport of the client. She never read that email for over 9 months. And IRCC waited for the passport to be sent for them to stamp the visa. No agent responded, and they had to close the file and deny the application. This is another incredible story. Now, what can you take home from this? Even from what the IRCC replied this young lady, an applicant is responsible for whatever information on your application. A friend of mine told me that he stops using agents when an agent filled his occupation as a carpenter, whereas the boy is one IT guy somewhere. In applying, the agent said this guy is a carpenter. What a laughable situation. So number one, make sure you know everything about your application. Some of you don't even have your login details. It is your right. Yes, the agent can keep an eye, but the onus lies on you to know whatever that is going on. Number two, know the legitimacy of whoever you are contracting to do your work for you. Verify the documents that they issue to you. It's just as simple as putting a call across to the school or IRCC. Even if you can't make that international call, send an email right here. there's a culture of replying your email. Verify this. Fourthly, like I said, having your login details. You never can tell. Nobody can take care of your application or anything about you more than you can do. Now, I'll leave you with this question. What do you advise this lady to do? That's number one. Number two, what are your experiences? If you have dealt with any agent, what are your experiences? I'm not saying that all the agents are careless, but more often than not, please keep an eye on what you are doing. Now, I would just like to encourage this lady, and my prayer is that you will pull through. One advice I have is that if you can, if you happen to see this video, if you can get this immigration consultant, because it is your word now against the IRCC. They said she knows that this was fake, but the lady is crying, I didn't know until I verified from University of Regina. So if you can get that immigration consultant to write a letter stating that actually you never participated in whatever they did, maybe that might help. But the immigration consultant might not be able to do it because he might be trying to save his head. But for sure, there's no need because he's a rogue agent. So he can't even travel to Canada. He can't even apply for any visa in Canada and get it. So let him write that letter that will absolve you from every responsibility, stating categorically that you were never part of it. Maybe that will help your case. But I'm happy that you have a lawyer now who is actually pushing this case for you. But for you, my dear listeners, for everything worth it, just like I said, learn from this experience. And I believe that you will not make the same mistake made by this lady, even as we continue to pray that, justice will be tampered with mercy. Thank you very kindly for being with us on this one. Join this community if you haven't. And as usual, I will see you in next one. Take care.